Hello everybody, and how are you doing? Welcome to Late Night with Boozy. Here's the deal, normally at this time I do an opening monologue and a top 10 list and all that shit. Here's your little secret. It is 11:18. I am tired and we are running late. So we're all going to pretend I actually did that shit tonight, okay? Okay. So let's do the quick version. Hi, how are you doing? Have you heard about insert current news event here? Don't you find it amusing, disappointing, or angry? Witty commentary upon the same. Wonderful. Let me introduce my co-host for the night, Iggy the Dinosaur. Iggy, how are you? Iggy is fine. Ha! Iggy's mic is off.
It's alright, I can project!
No, you fucking can't. You sound like a cat with strep throat at the moment, sir. Alright, time for a top 10 list. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There we go. Hilarious, everybody laugh. Iggy, maybe try turning the microphone on.
It says it's 2:04, this panel's already gone over too much.
I love it. Just sitting there the whole damn time. I can project. Have you tried the on switch?
They generally don't let me touch the equipment.
Unlike your mother. Your mother's a lovely woman.
She is.
I have spoken to your mother. I actually feel bad about that one. Not the joke, speaking to your mother. Is everybody enjoying Anthrocon? So, funny story. I got off stage from talking about fucking a hamburger. If you weren't there, I'm not explaining it. That's just the soundbite you get to tell your friends later. And I looked on Twitter.
I am so sorry.
I am happy to announce Twitter is handling things well. Everybody is aware of our video game cosplayer, correct? Yeah. No. I hear one person say no and everybody else is going, yes. Well, I walked in here, I saw that same cosplayer. My immediate thought was, wasn't that motherfucker told to take that off? And then right before the panel started, I saw an Allegheny County Sheriff's deputy walk in. I went, oh, that motherfucker was told to take that off. With that said, I hope that you enjoy the rest of your convention. I am going to do my level best to run this night, though, but I'm going to do that in my own special way. And the way I'm going to do that is, Iggy, how are you?
I'm still doing it.
What are you doing?
I don't know. I tried to get here and the escalator didn't work.
I like the fact that you mugged a leprechaun and a hobo on your way. Just decided to go all out.
Absolutely. Why wouldn't you?
You can't. You'll never get me Lucky Charms or a job. We were actually thinking about doing a top 10 list of top 10 rejected Aesop's fables. This was brought up yesterday. Here is our planning process. Iggy suggests something that is a wonderful idea that I should get to work on, and then I do jack shit. So here's the top 1 rejected Aesop fable, because it's the one I came up with. The Stallion and the Fox. I just got to, have you looked at that? Have you all looked at the names of Aesop's fables? All right, here's why this is so hard. I looked at the names of Aesop's fables, and it is literally just the blank and the blank. The tortoise and the hare. The what? The scorpion and the turtle. Frog. You know, that's all the names are like that. And I'm going, well, that fucking sucks. How can I turn that into a rejected fable?
The bald man and the hare.
The fair and the furry convention.
It's hard.
The tortoise and the bear, a story of slow lovemaking.
So who is your tortoise?
The scorpion and the frog, a tale of bug chasing with a happy ending.
I did not know, by the way, that the goose that laid the golden egg was one of Aesop's fables. I learned that while researching a bit, and that did give me another one, the goose with the golden ovipositor.
That was in my recheck.
Really?
Yes.
Great minds.
You say great.
Yeah.
And just put together, maybe.
I love the fact that, like, every third con I see again, he doesn't have a beard. And then he comes back and he's got the beard. And it's been like less than 2 months since the last time I saw you, and the beard's back. This is unnatural, sir.
He is Santa Claus.
You got it from the hobo.
I was literally on a walk a few days ago, and someone actually stopped me. Literally from the back, they said, "Oh my God, are you ZZ Top?"
No, you're season no.
Holy shit!
And then he went, no, I'm CC Bottom.
Great line.
ZZ Top. Welcome to the furry fandom. We don't have our ZZ Top cover band, Easy Bottoms. you can't find any tops here.
Maybe like YKK or something like that.
Well, why can't? Folks, I hope we have a great show for you tonight. I actually have no idea. And I'm going to say I have no idea because you motherfuckers think I planned this? This is an entire panel built around me sitting here doing absolutely fucking nothing and taking the credit. And that way I'm much like Uncle Kage. So, without further ado, let me introduce an act that I discovered. I'm the first person to bring them to you. I taught them everything they know. All of their jokes were actually written by me backstage while they were in a men's room. Ladies and gentlemen, both and neither, Alkali Biscuit.
Boozy.
There's an on button. Iggy discovered this earlier. However, unlike Iggy, you can probably project and not sound like a strangled cat.
More so than a he, yes. And I cannot believe that anyone would have ever called you ZZ Top. You are ZZ asexual at best. Also, if you're going to take credit for my jokes, maybe read my set list first, because this one's bad. Because I want to be on theme. What did we just witness at the beginning of this panel? We witnessed exhaustion. This is pure, unbridled exhaustion. And that's okay. Some of the greatest comedic moments of my life happened while I could barely function as a human being, but could still function as a ferret, because that's what furry is. We don't sleep, and that needs to get fixed now. 6 hours, motherfuckers, try it. Well, oh, thank you. I used to run a LARP called Nero. It is a LARP where you would go out for the weekend, play D&D with your friends, and at the end of the night, collapse nearly unconscious in bed, waiting to be murdered by the NPCs. I loved it until I was 25 and then realized I like everything but the part where they wake me up with a sword to my throat. Because at some point in your life, no matter how hardcore of a LARPer you are, you will wake up and do one of these. Are you ready to die? Can I stay here while I resurrect? Yes, I guess so. 3 count away, baby. I'm going back to dream dreamland. Well, I joined Plot. I was on Plot for so long that I became the lead of Plot, the storyteller, and I had my team. My team of friends showed up to help me. We all stayed in the same freezing cold room. Why was it freezing cold? Because this is camping, I'm a badass, and I had enough money to buy an air conditioning unit. We sealed off a room about as big as half of this stage, put an air conditioning unit in there, and had my engineering friend take a hammer and shatter the part that knows what temperature it is, so it just ran constantly. It was 90 degrees outside on a Labor Day weekend. That means I arrived on site Friday morning at 9 a.m. We set up the entire campsite by 6 p.m. We started playing and did not stop until Monday at noon. It is Sunday night. We have been going basically non-stop for days. And we are in our chill room. Very chill. We built this campsite together. This was a site we actually bought to run the LARP on. We were a very lucky group to have this. In fact, it was so much ours that we got to design the block bedroom. Did we put in some masterful king beds? Did we put in anything but the air conditioning unit? Because that was the only fucking thing I cared about? No! What did we do? We took my queen bed that I had extra from home, put it in the room for Tim and Hannah because they were a married couple, and we built the rest of us a human fucking shelving unit. There were 5 of us and we needed room, so a bunk bed wasn't enough. We took the first shelf and put it just above the ground. We took the second shelf and put it right here. We took the third shelf and put it here. The ceiling was right here. It was a death trap. Let's go to bed.
Every baby book ever.
Yeah, well, I have no response. It is midnight with tomorrow, but I'm going to get you. So, I'm taking one from your book. With tomorrow. Yes, sir. Well, this night, Sunday. We're done. We have to wake up tomorrow. We still have to clean. We need a good night's sleep. I am so dehydrated, I am literally cramping from my big toe, up my leg, up my thigh, up my pelvic bone, screaming to my friends, wait a minute, isn't a heart attack just a hard cramp? I think I'm about to die. And they laughed their asses off. Tim and Hannah are in the queen bed, curled up, as they usually are, butt-ass naked. Good on them. I have the bottom bunk, this far off the ground, because I am never climbing up into another bunk. Above me is John the Human, one of my closest friends, and above him is PHB, Pale-Haired Bastard, a half-albino friend of ours who had a great sense of humor and was horrible at spelling. PHB all the way. And on this night, it was finally over. If you've ever done any kind of a group outing like that, something where you're just active for hours and hours, you know the exhaustion. It was done. The room was quiet. It was cold, 90 degrees outside, 50 degrees in the room. It was heaven. And as I laid back on my wooden bunk, with egg foam underneath me, providing no support whatsoever, but mentally I was like, well, at least I'm not sleeping on bare wood. That's a lie. I slowly felt the waves of sleep washing over me. Like laying on a beach, it was magnificent. My legs, my body. And then Godzilla attacked me. A June bug, a large-ass monster of a parasite landed on my shoulder. I was gone. I was not in this world. I was off in dreamland. I was fucking something. I don't know what. And I can't ask questions because that would be wrong. I am gone. I am done. What is this? I don't know what it is. And I sat up. I sat up fast. These human shelving units needed support. Did I just build a shelf? No, we built support bars. causes stories. The funny thing is, that is the story that I told at my first Anthrocon. That is something I have not done in years. I actually kind of missed that story. I missed that group. A lot of things happen with them, usually due to exhaustion, including the drive. 3-day event. These happen. I loved them. You go out there, you have a great time, but you don't sleep a lot. I'm in my car with my friend. We are driving down rural Route 69, baby. Yeah, I know you love it. You love it. You know why I don't love it? Would you like to know what's on rural Route 69? Allow me to paint you a picture. Everyone close your eyes. That's rural Route 69. We are in the middle of nowhere. I am driving along in my SUV. My friend is asleep next to me because no matter how many times I told him I needed him to stay awake, he nodded, and in the middle of the nod, that was it, and he was asleep. So I'm driving. I've got a 3-hour drive. It has been a 3-day event. I am exhausted, and I want to get home. And the last thing I want is traffic at 2 in the morning on rural Route 60 goddamn 9. And what's in front of me? A school bus. And I'm staring out the front of my car like, what? Why? They're slow, and they have STDs on board. I don't want this, so I speed up. I'm going to pass this school bus, and that school bus sped up. All right? I'm going to go faster. I continue to accelerate my car. I looked down at the speedometer. My speedometer topped out at 125 miles an hour. I was at 120. And the school bus was pacing me perfectly. You ever have a moment in your life where it just clicks? Have you ever realized something? You know that something's wrong, you know that, and then it happens, and you understand. It happened to me. I cannot describe to you how careful I was. We're talking about mentally. Take foot off acceleratrix. Understood, sir? Yes, brain, I got you. Put foot on deceleromatrix. Yes, the big long one. Yes, the big long one. Slowly depress deceleromatrix. Pulled over onto the shoulder and woke up my friend. And I said, you need to drive. And he said, why? I said, do you see the school bus in front of us? He goes, what? No. I go, do you see the yellow line in the middle of the road? He goes, yeah. I said, I have thought that's a school bus for the last 10 miles. You need to drive the car! My name is Alkali. You can find myself on Sandy at Alkali and Sandy at Twitch.tv. Thank you guys so much.
This is the part where we talk to you.
Didn't we do this already?
Yeah, we've done this a lot. Listen, you can tell me right now that we've done this 4 times tonight, and I believe you.
Alkali and Boozy panels are the Mexican food of the furry fandom. It's the same panel with slightly reversed ingredients.
This is the quesadilla.
This is the quesadilla.
You already got the burrito here.
Oh, it was more of a slider, but.
Holy shit, slider tacos.
No, that would not be a holy shit.
You like that slider? That definitely would be unholy.
Hi, do you have plumbing problems? Taco sliders. You do now.
So, let me ask you a question. I understand that you have recently made the decision to dedicate your life to a professional performance.
I have not made any decision. I had a decision thrust on me by sexist fuckwads. I have recently lost my job. I was at MC. Oh, thank you. No, genuinely, thank you. No, it needed to happen.
Iggy, quick, give him your beard and hat.
It must be done.
Just a kid. You just get it.
It just slowly shifts a job like that, well, I do like the stress. I like being busy. I don't think I realized how deep I had gotten into live, work, sleep. Got it, that's my life. So when I got a call, I was at MCFC. I was actually at the convention. So what had happened was I work nights, so I didn't work Fridays, and my company was so pathetic. And knowing how anything worked, they didn't know that, and they planned on firing me on Friday. So they were going to fire me on a day that I wasn't going to be there. On top of that, I had taken a day off prior to go to MCFC, meaning I am definitely not picking up my phone for a work call. I am on an actual vacation, one I scheduled. They're not allowed to call me for work-related things on those days. So fine. I wake up, I think it was Friday afternoon. I look at my phone after a panel and I have like 13 missed calls from my boss's boss. Did not know there was that level. It was new information to me. I missed all those. The phone call I got was from my partner, Tom. Tom and me worked incredibly well together. We became very good friends. And there is nothing more awkward than to talk to your coworker as he is crying his eyes out. We are very close friends because of this job. We don't know what we're going to do, how this is going to go forward. And I felt horrible, especially because the moment it fell out of my mouth, like, oh, they fired me? About 20 furries fired, like, yeah, go Alkaline, woo! And Tom can hear all of this. It's like, oh my God, what am I going to do on Sundays? How am I going to get the desk over? Like, yeah, fuck that place, woo! So, absolutely magical to me, but then the surreal part is getting fired from a job, knowing I have no income, and like, well, gotta do a panel, whoopsie daisy. So, yeah, my MCFC was different. Very different.
I love your description of that. You had a fairly stable, well-paying job. You got fired from it in like the fuzziest bucket of crabs in the world. The furries celebrated the fact that you did not get out of the bucket.
Absolutely. I appreciate it.
Welcome to our level, asshole!
Well, the best part has been, because I think a lot of us have this. I think this relates to a lot of us. Some of you, your job knows what you're doing. Who in here, does your job know where you are right now? Raise your hand. Thank you, AV. Yes, your job knows where you are right now. So some of us have this. They don't believe it. They do not believe it in the slightest. They think that we're embellishing or making things up. They have no idea. So the day this happened, after it came out of my job that I was gone, what started happening is I was getting these phone calls and messages like, oh, don't worry, I've got a job over at this retail desk for you. Oh, we need a clerk over here. And I got to tell people I had worked with for years, people who came up with living off $5 million, that's not helicopter money. You could never survive on $5 million. I got to tell those people, thank you so much for trying to help, but I'm going to do podcasting. They have no idea what to say to me, and that alone gets me rock fucking hard.
Folks, Alkaline Business, you can find over at Twitch.tv/Alkaline and Xanny.
Thank you, buddy.
Oh, I forget who's next.
So hard.
Well,
I think it's supposed to be the voice of God.
voice of
The
God.
voice of God. Our next performer is somebody who the very first time I met them, I did not know what they looked like because all I heard was a booming voice from the back of the ballroom saying, "Put the microphone down." So, folks, please place your hands together. You know them as the vice chairman of Furthermore, and as a member of our programming staff here at Anthrocon, Spark.
I did a stupid thing. I let them attach 2 different leashes to me. One of them is attached here, and the other one is this godforsaken yellow lanyard. Is everybody glad to be back at Anthrocon like I am? Good, because I was afraid that was a fever dream. When the pandemic got really bad and everything was locked down, I started really missing conventions. I started missing furries, and like the virtual cons, everybody put on these amazing virtual events and all this stuff, and it was fantastic. And unfortunately, the problem for me was that I wasn't going to see any of my clients. I work entirely freelance. I fix old people's computers. So there was no way I was going into their houses. This was before the vaccines. I was not going into their houses. It wasn't happening because I did not want to kill them. So I sat my fat ass downstairs in my entertainment room and I put on my television, the YouTube app. And I thought, well, if I can't have a furry con, I will make a furry con. So I went to YouTube and I started looking up panels that had been done by my various friends, many of whom are up here or off stage. And so I started watching. I watched Boozy's entire furry career flash before my eyes. And it made me happy, and it made me a little sad because I missed my friends. And I watched so many different performances by Alkali that I know every version of the Oatmeal story. All of them. Alkali, will you sign my watermelon, by the way?
God damn it.
So I'm sitting at home and I'm watching this, okay, and that's all I'm doing. By the way, I'm not binging anything else. I'm on YouTube, that's it. It's a hyper-focused YouTube. So I'm watching furry panels and furry comedians get up there, and I'm watching Uncle Kage's story hour from every year to God knows when. Day 1, I'm like, oh, this is great. I miss my friends, I miss the conventions, but I get to see them. Day 2, I'm like, I'm a little sad. I'm missing my friends, but it's still great to see them. Day 3, I start to get a little upset. And I'm sitting there like, why am I not getting to tell the stories? Now I want you to realize I'm watching YouTube clips from 5 years ago. Thursday rolls around and I'm hurt and I'm angry that I'm not getting invited to tell the stories. Friday night rolls around and I just break down sobbing. I'm like, what did I do wrong? Why won't they hang out with me? I get a telegram. What did I do wrong? It's 3 in the morning. I wait for a second, that little double check mark pops up. And I read people's telegram voices in my head, so. Sparf. It's 3 in the fucking morning. What the fuck are you talking about? I said, why did you invite me up to do the panel with you? And that's the story of how a restraining order appeared at my house the next day. Welcome back to Anthrocon. Thank you so much.
Scarf.
Yes.
I always invite you to do panels with me.
You do. Except when you are the YouTube you who can't invite me to things.
Yeah, well, the YouTube me's a prick.
You know what? Yeah, fuck that guy.
Yeah. That guy's got an asshole.
Yeah, right?
Oh. Sparf, you are the vice chair of Furthermore?
That is correct, yes.
What is Furthermore?
Furthermore is a furry convention in Northern Virginia. We started off in Maryland, moved to Virginia, now we're stuck there. It happens a lot, so our ever increasingly inaccurate name just continues to roll along.
You say inaccurate, how is it inaccurate?
Well, we started off north of Baltimore, in a suburb, you could charitably call it a suburb of Baltimore. And it was always our intention to move into Baltimore. And the problem is when you have a convention around the time of year where all the hotels go, yeah, fuck you, I could hold 10 weddings and make 1,000% more money from you. So then we will from you. So we're not going to, no, you just go away. We'll rent you a ballroom for a night. So we were like, okay, well, we need to find a bigger hotel. We're growing convention. You know, small cons grow fairly quickly up to a point. So we ended up in Northern Virginia, and it's been really good. They've been really good to us. And every time we look at places up north, they're like, can you bring in more than 10 weddings? No? Try again next year.
So what you're telling me is they'd only give you a ballroom for one night?
Yes.
And you weren't interested in holding furry balls?
Boozy, we've been friends long enough now that...
Then I know that's a fucking lie. You're definitely interested in holding fuzzy balls.
Correct.
I don't know what the fuck's going on, but I'm suddenly very interested.
Things are being plugged into other things. Typical Friday night at the
Spark, what else do you do?
I am the Assistant Director of Programming here at Anthrocon as of this year. So, don't cheer that! That's a curse and you know it.
Better you than me.
Wow.
You know what, Fair?
Tomorrow.
Hey, if it's any consideration, not many people showed up to the panel. I overestimate.
Okay, that's fair. We've had a whole lot of problems with space because everybody looks at SCAD and goes, oh my God, I'm going to have 450 people at my panel. And I'm going, no, you're not. I know you're excited. I know you're excited wagging that curly husky tail. But set your expectations a little lower. Depends on the panel. But like, we're trying to move people around. Like, we literally, like, I could move you to one of 10 other rooms in the convention center, but they're all the same size. And none of them divide with air walls. So we're just like, well, we could move you and confuse everybody, or we could leave you where you are and squeeze in as many people as possible safely with COVID. Please don't pack into rooms. Wear your masks.
Yeah, let's talk about that, motherfucker. Did you say everybody looks at Sketch and sees 400 people, and they need to understand there's not going to be that many people there, correct?
I would like to amend my statement, Mr. Attorney.
Yeah, no, motherfucker. No, we're done. You're done talking. You're going to listen to me now. The past 3 years, after every single one of those goddamn furry mock trials, I have gone up to programming and said, hey, we had people standing in the aisle. I think we need a bigger room. And I looked this morning, and the number keeps going up. We're not going to fit everyone in the DLCC.
I'll get back to you on that.
Yeah, you better, because you're on the trial this year.
Yes, I am.
Tomorrow we're doing furry jury. It's a full mock trial. Spark will be playing our defendant.
I am completely innocent. I don't know what you're talking about.
If you don't recognize the voice, let me put it this way. They don't ask to vet the trial. It may or may not be a murderer named Cousin Page.
Show up early so you can have a seat.
Spark, anything else you want to talk about?
No, just please, for the love of God, hydrate and take care of yourselves. We're all kind of getting used to being at cons again, and I would like to. I will share with you my meals for the day. What I had today: cookie, popcorn, diet soda. Then I had a real dinner. I did take care of myself with a real dinner, but it was. You know that feeling when like it feels like your entire central nervous system is being coated with sandpaper with the rough side in? I don't know if that's just me. It may just be me. I think it's just me. Only me. No? Okay, good. Everyone agrees with me. I win.
I do want to point out, we are the people who say 6-2-1, right?
Yes.
6 hours of sleep, 2 meals, 1 shower. You heard what Sparf's diet was today. I had a hot dog 12 hours ago. It wasn't a big hot dog. Do as we say, not as we do. Please, for the love of, especially if it's alkaline, do as he says, not as he does. Sparf, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, Sparf. You've had so many comedians. You know why? Because all of the musicians said, fuck you, I'm not bringing my instruments. No shit, Rhubarb and Cosmic were here, they're gone now. Fox and Pepper were here, they're gone now.
They're still here.
They're still here. Oh, they're still here. Do you have instruments?
What?
Do you have instruments?
Of torture?
Yes, your guitar. That's what I'm talking about. Here's what I love about Pepper. Let me tell you a little bit about our next act. All right, Pepper walked into dealer's den, dropped off the boxes of his merch, and left. Came back several hours later, looked at Alkaline Eye, who had been selling his merch without being asked, and said, oh, you did set up the table for me, it worked, and left again. Did you bring your instruments? Ended up with taps being played on a green trombone.
You learned something today.
Welcome to the furry fucking fandom. We are vaguely disrespectful.
I don't believe it.
Folks, our next act, you know them, you love them, you'll see them on this stage tomorrow night as well for their After Dark show. It is I'm assuming the Scotsman is coming with you?
No.
No, just you.
There's a storm.
There's a storm.
There's a big storm coming. He wants to go see it.
Like, is this a fucking euphemism?
Yeah. The storm is my penis. And it's coming. It's coming hard, I'm guessing.
What do you say? I'm going to tell you to play Nightbird.
I got nothing. You see, the thing is that Pepper, as he's setting up, I will tell you this story several years ago, prior to me breaking my hip. I contacted Fox and Pepper and I said, you're going to this con, I have decided that I'm going to show up at this con, can I room with you? And they said, yes, of course. And I got there and I joked, and they said, oh, you can sleep on the floor. Well, they were joking, I wasn't. I slept on their floor. And as he and Fox were climbing into bed that night, they had both gotten into their skivvies. The other bed was taken up by other band members. And I just hear Fox and Moore, as the light clicks off and that wonderful Scottish brogue say, Pepper, if you couple me, I'll fucking kill you. And I woke up in the morning, and I went to the bathroom, and I looked over at their bed, and there was Pepper. He was the big spoon. So I did what anybody would do in that situation. I took pictures.
Do we have them ready for the cruise?
Very good. All right, so I offer several services, Boozy, and one of them is cover songs. I don't do a lot of cover songs, but now that I'm free of that ball and chain Fox support, I can do his, oh wow, everyone's like, that's mean! I'm very sorry. Fox sucks, and we all know it, and we need to... Alright, so I'm gonna do some cover songs I wouldn't...
Holy shit, am I the Yoko Ono of Foxes and Pepper?
I looked at Boozy and I'm like, we're breaking up the band.
gentlemen, fuck some more.
So I was gonna do this at the opening, but we, oh boy. So we started our set 45 minutes behind. And we ended our set 7 minutes behind. Which I think should be worth some kind of like Disney dollars, but with Anthrocon, I should be good. Give me some Anthro bucks? Anthro bucks. Many of you have drawn them. You can purchase them in the dealer's tent. You can... Dear... I realize I should probably like give them a shot at like trying to mix this before I like, start playing. So we were gonna do this song at opening, but then you know, things kinda got out of hand with the clock. So we looked at each other and said, baby, Kage will see us dead if we do all 15 of these here tunes. I'm becoming like frickin', who am I over here? I'm John Denvering. Yeah. So we had to cut our first song, and I said, baby, you better start my song if you think that you're not gonna sing Shania Twain. I'm doing a Shania Twain song that we were gonna do first, and it was gonna be kind of a meme, but now we're gonna be doing it now, and then tomorrow at the After Dark show at 10:30 p.m. with a whole band. Are you ready?
Yes.
What's your opinion on Shania Twain?
I take our Shania Twain.
Your opinion, I don't know, just not take, you don't have to have like a whole opinion, what do you think?
It's not 1995. I'm sure I had an opinion when she was relevant.
Well, you know, the gays like her, but she doesn't like the gays. Looks like... Oh, I shouldn't have dropped that before I sing her song. Fuck.
What's your take on Shania Twain? Well, the gays like her, but she doesn't like the gays. Anyways, here's the homophobe song.
I'm death of the author in this bitch. Not calling Shania Twain a bitch, the song.
Why aren't you calling her a bitch?
No.
Do you think she's going to be polite to you?
I'm gonna get in trouble on the internet.
Oh, that's such a nice young man. Oh, he sucks dick.
Am I gonna get in trouble for not calling Shania Twain?
You don't need to be covering Dolly Parton. Dolly Parton, that's such a nice young man. And he sucks dick.
The only nurse I know are 9 to 5. She go 9 to 5, 9 to 5, and 9 to 5, 9 to 5. The only word you know, peace of mind. I knew other words. Now, okay, so looks like we made it. Look how far we've come, my baby. Might take a long way. We knew that we'd get there someday. They said, I bet they will never make it, but just look at us moving on. We're still together and going strong. This is like appropriate after I say after COVID. We have President Joe Biden. COVID will last forever, young Skywalker.
Motherfucker, this is not your Twitter feed. You're not getting us all canceled.
Aquí llegamos a la cima del cielo por armarnos. Al mundo deseamos, seguimos unidos y enamorados. Yo sé que nadie pensó que nuestro amor duraría. Aquí estamos amándonos. Any Rogelio Martinez fans in the audience? He does a whole band version of this, and it's kick ass. And I'm like, we can do this as a thing. We have the horn line. They're gonna freaking. Still, you have tu y yo sigue siendo tú. Mi amor eterno y yo te amo cada día más. Can I go? So it's like a call and response. You have tu y yo. Kind of 1, 2, tu y yo. 1, 2. Thanks. This guy's awake. Jesus Christ.
Where's he owes me money?
Ready and 1, 2, tu y yo. Ready and 1, 2, tu y yo. Ready? And, oh, 1, 2, 2, sigue siendo tú, mi sueño eterno y yo, dueño de tu corazón. Should I do the second verse? I'm solo por mirarte. Si es que debes serles. One guy left. No se pierdan de alma. I'm solo por amarte. Daría mi vida en un instante. Yo sé que nadie. And so, oh, who the fuck you want this guy? And so, pero aquí estamos amándonos. 1, 2. You fuckers. Oh my God. I tried. Oh, 1, 2. Sigue siendo tú mi amor eterno y yo te amo cada día más. I didn't say the freaking thing, did I? That one's on me. Fool me once. Shame on me. Let me on stage twice. Boozy, that's really on you. Oh, 1, 2, 2. This is not a euphemism. Can someone please bring me a cup of water if you're feeling very generous? I've been living off of mostly Pop-Tarts and vape for the last 48 hours. Solidarity with everybody else isn't doing the same thing. We had Burger King, I could afford one meal. So diarrhea eating, no. It doesn't quite work with the emphasis pattern. No. I take that criticism to heart. This is the Boozy Texting Hour. How are y'all doing? I welcome you into my home. And you disrespect me.
You guys got four.
Oh my God, thank you so much. Thank you very much.
Oh, I have this. I mean, that would make things interesting.
I very much
It's got stuff to keep them hot.
Okay, Susie, you're gonna pick a cover. Are you giving me money? Oh, are you?
I have to pick a cover. Oh, from your not like I can't just come off the random fucking one. Holy shit!
Just a keyboard. Don't need.
So I did what I called the summer of covers. If you're not gonna put my pants on this. I did so what I called summer of covers, where every day for I guess the summer, meaning like a month. I don't know. It makes me feel spicy. I learn a new cover song every day, and I amassed I don't know, good 50.
Very slightly more. Just slightly.
But then added a bit too.
Yeah. Perfect. Thank you.
There's some Linkin Park in there. There's at least one Elton John song. And I know how to play most of them. That isn't it. It starts with don't know why. It doesn't even matter how hard you try. You have in mind, I designed this rhyme to remind myself why I try. I need an iPad now to keep up. You pick one? Yeah, you pick one. We'll do that one because I want it.
I was trying to poison it, but
This is like a key. This is gonna be kind of nice. Different song, but here are the chords, and it's also very good.
Okay.
Like a pine tree lining the winding road, I've got an ache. I've got an ache. Like the singing know that part goes, but for the rest of this. Like a north wind whistling down the sky. This is from Django. You heard this in Django Unchained. I got a song. I got a song. Like the whippoorwill and the babies cry. I've got a song. I've got a song. And I carry it with me and I sing it loud. Going nowhere. I'll go there proud. Rolling me down the highway. Rolling me down the highway. Moving ahead so life won't pass me by. Let's go from moving me down the highway to an F sharp button. Rolling me down the highway. Rolling me down the highway. Moving ahead till I want. Really?
Yeah.
Am
That was you.
Am I intoxicated?
A little bit.
Pass me by. So yeah, like I said, Fox, terrible.
Sorry. I'm gonna go back to playing.
Oh, you're here. When did you get here? Do you want to pick one more, or do you want us to do Linkin Park?
You guys do whatever you want for your next one.
Boozy, is this a series of people taking, is this the Boozy's hijacked show?
More or less, yeah.
First Alkaline,
Yeah.
then us.
Yeah. Oh, no,
Chris, come up here.
You did this song, and then I gotta get Chris up here to promote their shit.
Jesus.
I was supposed to be third, but
They just yelled at me. What's the song called? No, we went through the it starts with
Oh,
India.
it doesn't really matter.
I know both.
You tried so hard and came for four.
Oh! Thank you, though. Don't give away that it's a D minor. Can you give me a D minor? Okay. Alright. It starts with one thing. I don't know why. It doesn't even matter how hard you try. Keep that in mind. I designed this rhyme to explain in due time. All I know, time is a valuable thing. Watch it fly by and the pendulum swings. Count it down to the end of the day. The clock ticks like a wave. So take a look out below. Watch the time go right out the window. Try and hold on. Didn't even know I wasted it all just to watch you go. Keep everything inside. And though I tried, it all fell apart. What it meant to me, what it meant to me. Be a memory of the time when I tried so hard, not so far. When you
again tomorrow night on this same stage at 10:30 for their After Dark concert. That's right, you're not done with these assholes yet.
This time I'll be drunk.
Well, this is a furry con, of course. This time I'll be able to do that threat.
No.
But let's hear it one more time for Foxes and Peppers. Fox, I want to say it is extremely good to see you again. I've seen Pepper several times over the past 2 years. I haven't seen you since your ass flew back to Scotland in the World Cup fire. You're not allowed to go back to Scotland.
It went from like literally a world tour to getting stuck with my parents for 2 years. And as much as I love my parents, I love you, Mum and Dad, because they're probably going to watch this at some point. But it's good to be back. See y'all tomorrow.
The last time I spoke to Pepper, Fox, he was speaking to me from a cabin in the back of his parents' property.
There were ways I could escape because of the bloody lockdown.
So I just thought, I was going on a world tour. I ended up giving a tour of the backyard.
So we smoke or stuff?
So our next guest, we're going to go ahead and bring him up while Fox is getting that down. Folks, please place your hands together for our longtime friend, Chris the Comedy Bun. Now, Chris is going to be doing something a little different.
Okay.
There is no 5-minute set from Chris, from what I understand.
I mean, I gotta type 5 after watching this. Hey, Boozy.
Yes, Chris.
How did Alkali get to be so big?
How?
Because you choose the scenery.
Oh.
Oh. The theater kids will laugh. You're all corner kids, but you're not actually theater kids.
Corner kids a good thing. I love it. Speaking of corner kids,
Did you just turn your mic on?
no.
No, okay, there we go. Were you offended by corner kids? Is that what happened? Okay, fair enough. But speaking of corner kids, I was backstage and Pep looks at me and in all earnestness is all like, you know what, I think I'm gonna do that Shania Twain song, you know, but like in Spanish. And I'm like, oh yeah, that old fucking chestnut, you weird dork. Don't come at me like I'm supposed to know what that is. I get we're both left from center, but we are on 2 different sections of the spectrum, buddy. To be fair, I'm farther. I'm much more artistic than Pepper. Did you see how he had charisma? Anyways, what's up? Also, yeah, sure, we'll keep going with the roast. When you were talking about, like, or when Fox, it's been so long, I forgot his name. When Fox was undoing all of his piano shit, you were looking at him like a like he was your secretary, and you were a bad lawyer.
I'm hungry.
You were like, your ass went back to Scotland, and it's been a long time.
The world, look, no, we got to admit, Fox got on a plane to Edinburgh and everything caught fire.
I get it.
I don't think we're allowed to let Fox leave the country.
Fox got out here on a genius visa. That's what
Genius
They literally were like, yo, you're so wonderful, just stay here. Please?
Fox got into the country on a genius visa.
They're doing like some Wii game music.
You know what the best part of that is?
What?
Is like someone at immigration granted that visa, and then like a year later they were doing the check, and like, wait, he's fucking playing where?
Adding value to the country.
The mascot people, really?
They're the best part of the country.
Chris, you have spent the past 2 years with a number of interesting projects, but I believe there is one that I've given you money for now.
Oh yeah, you're actually sponsoring me. Like my dad never did.
Well, I want to be very clear.
So I didn't give you the money.
My spouse gave you the money.
Oh.
But I earned the money, therefore vicariously.
Just like my dad did.
It's a gift from both of us.
Aw, that's so sweet.
What is this project?
Oh, this project's
called Grindco. You took, there it is. Man, I don't know what I'm doing to you people back there. Anyways, it's called Grindco. It's a cartoon. It's the kidcore. Like, okay, it's a kidcore cartoon. It's the number one kidcore cartoon on the internet because there isn't any good. There aren't that. It's a small list. Is my point. It's good. I like it. It takes a lot of effort, and I like it. Or do we play the clip now? I don't know how to set up a clip. I've never had to do this.
What is kidcore?
Okay. We're going there. Okay, kidcore is like this, a section of the internet that like didn't like the idea of like age play as a thing, so like they were like, we'll just do kidcore because it's like you dabble in it, but you aren't like weird about it or whatever. It's kind of like bronies that didn't want to fuck Applejack. Well, like, maybe they did, but, like, mostly they don't want to fuck Applejack. But, like, she's, like, a solid mommy dom.
Roll the clip, please.
That's the intro. Whoa. I made all these sets by hand, by the way. Just so you know. It takes a lot of time. It's so lonely.
I'm just watching the iPad.
You can think differently. Get out of this rut you're stuck in. Plus, we need the basement.
Honestly, that's not a terribly long day. No, you know what? No, I don't care. I'll tell you I'll need it a few days, and you know, respecting that.
And I told you when we first met that this basement is special. It's the secret underground base. Plus, base is right in the name.
Yeah, in my name's Trek, but you don't see people running a train on me all the time, do you?
Ha ha ha! Good one.
You're not supposed to get that joke.
I didn't, but I recognized by your delivery that it was one, and I genuinely like how witty you are, so I want to support that.
This one time, Mama and I ran a train, and I was really sick, and I threw up everywhere, and Mama was really mad, but I felt better because I threw it up, and Mama was still really mad. You know what, Columbo? You might be right. She's probably the key to cracking this whole thing wide open.
Jay, I'm going to struggle you.
I hope you meant snuggle. She meant strangle, but swuggle also describes her problems with using the right words. Okay, I like her. She could stay down.
This is the girl whose relationship with potty training is pretty much summed up the same way.
I'm 5, you're 10. My struggle is enduring. Yours is pitiable. How do you feel like the third wheel when you're the fourth animal? If we were a tricycle, that metaphor would still stand. Nope, don't drag me. Fine, whatever, I don't care. I'm going to change my... Oh, Chris, you suck. It's done. What I was supposed to do. I was supposed to set up the context for that scene. Probably.
Well, let's do it retroactively.
It's just like... I forget the name of that movie. Anyways, I was going to make a cool reference. Lento? Yeah, that's the one. You did it. Thanks, Iggy. You're always...
That's what I'm here for.
Yeah, you're my stone. Rock? Okay. So the context of that scene is that's episode 2. Episode 3 is out, but that kind of works best as its own. But I don't know. I like Katie. Katie's one of my favorite characters, especially to write and voice and shit. Anyways, context-wise, that was Chris, who is currently trying to find a not Yu-Gi-Oh card called Trina, Queen of the Forest. She was given a hint by a mysterious voice on a radio, and she is looking for it, and now they're in the basement of their 20-something-year-old friend. It's not creepy. I promise. It's a found family. Anyway, she's in the basement of her 20-something-year-old friend, and she's trying to figure out, because it's a secret underground base, and she's trying to figure it out, but then, oh god, that's right, I got Boozy's voice. Yeah. Anyways, so then they got the context of Chris was wrong about the first clue, and she's like, well, what can I do? And she's like, I'm going to call in my Iggy, and I'm going to talk to this weird little autistic girl who knows more about Fae Fight than I do. Fae Fight is the fake Yu-Gi-Oh within the universe of the show. And then they called Katie in, but they were, right before that, they were arguing about microaggressions. Which is like, I promise that's funny, it's not weird, I promise it's not awkward, at least I try to make sure it's not awkward, but like, yeah. But like, it's still there. Oh, okay, sounds good. Yeah. Okay, so like I don't want to just.
Boozy doesn't have a microphone right now.
Oh yeah, Boozy doesn't have a microphone. The power. So like I said, I mean, sure.
You're louder than that.
All the art is by Paper Dawn. They're wonderful artists, and you should commission them. And they're lovely to actually like follow. Like they kind of just are like, oh, you'll just do that, and they'll like you give me some money, and I'll draw for you. And I'm like, sweet. It might get weird though, and they're like, no, don't worry about it. I got you. And I'm like, nice. So commission Paper Dawn. They're very wonderful people. But outside of that, I do build all of the sets, and I voice all the characters, and I do all that rest of the stuff.
Chris, where can people see Grind Cookie?
My YouTube channel, it's Comedy Bun. Just look up Comedy Bun YouTube channel. The channel name is Comedy Bun. You'll find it. It's there. You can also find it on Newgrounds if you like that person. That's fine too. And then you can also technically buy the season pass. It's not like a video game. You can buy the season pass off itch, which will give you access to each episode as it comes out with a bunch of bonus content and bonus videos. I should have brought a bonus video. I'm so bad at this. I'm learning. Hi. You have a mic now.
And how much is the season pass?
$10, I think. $5 or $10. It's technically a lot, I know, but like, there's more episodes because the season plans to be 12 episodes. You're paying like $10 for 12 episodes plus a bunch of bonus content and assets if you want to like use them for whatever. So I'm sorry to bore you.
No,
No, it's cool. It really did remind me of my dad. So anyways, yeah, shilling there. If you want to, it's just an alternative way to support me. Like a budget for each episode is like $450, and I make $800 total. So most of my rent money goes to this, and then my roommate is like nice to me. So like, if I can alleviate that, you're helping my roommate more than you're helping me. But also, most of that money just goes to Paper Dawn, that wonderful person I just described. So like, you could just give it to them directly, or you can give it to me, and I won't be a weird middleman, and like, because I'm a middle woman, trans rights. Okay. I'm not gonna misgender. I mean, we are past Pride. I can misgender myself now. Gay Santa can't fuck with me now. What was I? Oh yeah. It's just going to pay for other artists to do cool shit. I just like doing cool shit. I can absolutely be comfortable just being working poor and doing cool shit. Like that's fine. It always goes to other people. I don't like myself enough to where it to go to me. But if you want it to go to me, I'll listen to you. I'm pretty subbish.
folks, Chris the Cappy Grind Show. Chris, thank you so much. I can just gender myself. Fuck you, gay Santa. What the fuck? We have one more act for you tonight. Folks, you know them. You love them. They are the talent from the north, our Canadian friend. And
thank you so much. Hello everyone. Who was anyone here earlier for the story hour over in Main Events, Uncle Kage Story Hour? Was anyone here for the unfortunate panel immediately preceding that? A few of you, yes, the big opening. Yes, the big opening. I got to open for Uncle Kage, which was kind of cool. They, asked me last night if I would do that. It's interesting. You put normally weeks, if not, a month or two into putting stuff together for a panel, and instead I have less than 20 hours to put something together. So it went okay. It didn't go too poorly. Random bits and pieces that I was supposed to do floated back into my brain afterwards. For those of you who don't know, a lot of the times Alkali will introduce me as Lord Pandez. This has been around for years. I don't remember why anymore. I don't remember the origin. It just happened one day. But I am the kind of guy who takes a joke a step further. Online, you can purchase 1 square yard of land in Scotland. And they will name you the Scottish Lord of that 1 square yard of property. So one day I said, hey, I got something. Take a look at this. I sent him an email with a certificate that said, Pandez, Lord of blah 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 square plot in Scotland. And he's like, did you make yourself a Scottish Lord? Yes, it's accurate now. But now I want to go to Scotland. I want to go to where that 1 square yard of property is. And I need to do something with it. And my goal is, I have in my storage unit somewhere, my 1980s He-Man Castle Grayskull, and my 1980s Thundercats Castle. And I want to put them facing each other, and them in a big epic battle in a giant plexiglass case that just says, do not touch, and no other explanation. People will be wandering through the woods of Scotland, or the fields of Scotland. There's probably no woods in Scotland. More hills. And just like, plexiglass cross of Grayskull, what? I don't get it. No explanation. Writing my set was interesting. I got partway through it. I was going bits and pieces, and I was in my hotel room, and my alarm went off. And I'm like, why did I set an alarm for 5:30? I have a panel in 30 minutes, the one that I'm writing this set for now. I have to be from the 6th floor of the hotel over to the main events room in the next 30 minutes, and I'm wearing my boxers in 1 sock. Don't ask why 1 sock. I don't know how I managed to actually get dressed and actually get over to the main events ballroom, because the elevators are as they usually were, packed and, you know, powered by McDonald's heat lamps in the ceiling, keeping you nice and scalding warm. Anything you want to talk to me about, Boozy? Because honestly, I don't have a lot prepared today. Thanks. Alkaline, save me! Nope, he's gone.
Oh, God! He was over there.
No, but,
Yep.
there is a giant hole in the floor. That's not good.
Don't fall
It's the
through.
crack.
It's the crack.
And it's just widening as the day goes on.
I would normally be much more involved. However, I was looking at Grubhub and I realized that my spouse, when they said, oh, just hit reorder, meant that they had just hit reorder, not that I should just hit reorder. So I now have 6 hamburgers, 40 chicken nuggets, and 2 large fries on the way to the hotel.
I don't see that as a
Good
problem.
job.
And I just realized this when I was looking at the tracker and went, oh, I can't cancel it. I now have $60 worth of McDonald's on its way to me.
You gotta be careful with that. I'm just trying to think of something in my memory. Today's been a day. Oh, can I pull that one out of my memory? We're gonna try. This was basically the very first bit I ever performed on stage. It was at the now defunct Furry Connection North. Now it's technically Motor City FurCon, but this was Furry Connection North at the time. It was there last year, if I remember correctly. And Alkali had convinced me, you know what? Why don't you go to the open mic and do a set? We've been working on improv together. Let's try it. I said, okay. So I can remember the punchline, but I cannot remember the setup. Come on, brain. I'm being useless on this stage tonight.
Need an extra one. Need an extra brain.
I would like to update you on the McDonald's situation.
Were you able to cancel?
I know my spouse is listening to me. Hey, honey, Erica is pulling up outside the hotel. That would be my later order. However, I'm sorry to announce that Osmar is going to be late.
I'm assuming they must be outside because they're not in the room with us right now.
Yeah, well, I looked at them. I've got a lot of food coming. Some people would say, Boozy, you could share it. To that I say, go fuck yourself. Pandez,
Yeah.
you did mention.
Try the other one.
Hello.
It's me.
That's the one you handed me. The one with the white tape. Pandez, you did mention, and I do want to get there, that you did not have much time to prepare for your opening from Hokage.
That is unfortunately correct. Yeah.
How did that go for you?
I mean, I remembered most of the material, but about halfway through it was literally just like now. It's like, okay, I'm trying to pull it out of my brain, and I have barely performed. Like, the last 3 years has been non-existent in terms of performances. The last time I did stand-up with the crew, I opened, and Chris took my slot because I'm like, I'm not in the headspace for this yet. So I opened by doing just dad jokes the entire time. I actually went out and told them, like, hey, you guys ready? I'm about to do the lowest energy opening bit ever. And they're like, oh, sure. And then I got there and I'm like, hey, so I'm gonna open for them now. Like, I was just monotone and quiet, and and none of those jokes are coming to my memory right now either. So,
well, motherfuckers. We're almost done. You just gotta keep the mic on for like 5 more minutes and we're finished.
Fuck you! Hey, Pandez!
yes.
When did you find out you were opening for Kage?
Well, I found out last night at dinner. They came up to me and they're like, hey, Pandez, it's good to see you. Do you want to, do a little performance this weekend? Well, maybe I could, sure. You're opening for Kage in less than 20 hours from now. And it's hard to write a set in that time. I mean, I was pulling stories out from, like, way in the past. I talked about Mom Des a little bit. She is from Britain. She never nationalized. She's still very much British. You talk to her now, even though she's lived in North America for 50 years, you're talking to Mrs. Doubtfire. Like, hello! And she was a teacher. She's retired now. As a teacher, she decided when she first got here, she's going to go, she's going to get some supplies for the class. But she's still very much British. So she goes into the pharmacy to buy some, pencils and rulers and erasers. But in Britain, they're not called erasers. They're called rubbers. To rub out your mistake. So she goes into the pharmacy and she says, yes, can you show me? I can't find the rubbers. And the pharmacist brings her to the prophylactic department, where she was very confused. And she says, no, I'm looking for the ones with Fred Flintstone on them. And she did not understand why the pharmacist looks at her the way all of you are looking at me right now. And I'm like, oh, no. And also, seriously, can you imagine if there were like the Fred? For me, the Barney. Don't get the Scooby-Doo condoms. She is wonderful though. So the very first time my buddy Scott came up to visit, He helped me move when I moved from up north down to Michigan. And he's a southern gentleman. He's like, oh, how y'all doing? Nice to be here. And hearing that him and my mom interact was hilarious. She, of course, the gracious host, Scott, darling, would you like a beverage? And he, of course, well, do y'all happen to have some sweet tea? And of course, she goes, oh, of course, darling, just have a seat on the sofa. So we're sitting there, and we're waiting. McDonald's! Out comes my mother with a tray, sets it down in front of him with a nice big steaming pot of tea and a huge bowl of sugar. There you go, make your tea as sweet as you like it, darling. Does not quite get the concept of what sweet tea is, but thank you, Mom, for trying. It was a good effort.
Folks, let's hear it up for Panda.
I'm sorry. It is late and I enjoy it.
All that said, all that done, we have 15 minutes over. I am certain that AV wants to go the fuck to bed. And I have McDonald's with more en route. I should go down there with the driver from this one hands me the bag, just go here and hand back the other one. Folks, thank you for joining us tonight. I am Boozy. This is Ziggy. It has been wonderful to have you. Please enjoy the rest of your convention. We are going to bed.
Silver Gatoman, he bought me a coffee. Silver Gatoman, here is the song for thee. He likes to video all the panels at the cons. You should go and watch them whether they are short or long. Silver Gatoman, you video that's not a jibe. All of you go to his YouTube channel and like and subscribe.